Alrighty, so we obviously have a new melee, and he is pretty crazy, I would say. Very, very interesting unit. They showed him off during the live stream and everything. Unfortunately, I woke up a little bit later than I was supposed to for the live stream, so I did not get to really stream it as much as I would like to. But either way, we're going to go over the new character. We're going to go over some of the highlights of the new patch notes and everything, just to kind of keep you guys updated on it. So obviously, we have the new Purgatory melee. He's looking very, very interesting as a super long passive, so we're going to go over the skill translations that we have at the moment. Obviously, some of them might be a little wonky or might be subject to change a little bit here and there on some of the wording, but obviously the character should be coming out obviously tomorrow on JP and KR, and we should get the character on Global coming on around Tuesday. So it shouldn't be too long that we have to wait before we actually get him on Global, which means we'll actually get, like full official English translation and everything like that for his skills and everything. But his overall animations and everything look really, really good. They showed off his costumes and everything. I have to say his costumes are actually pretty nice as well, but we're going to try to keep it short and sweet. They did try to, they did a little bit of a PvP showcase here. I'll kind of show you the beginning of it here, just because they use Escanor against him, and I'll kind of explain what's going on once we go over his actual skills and everything. But I want to show you just the turn one of Escanor attacking, doing his thing, and then Melee sort of retaliation, and then we'll go over, how that actually worked out, and then some of the actual patch notes themselves. But you can see he did not take too much damage there, and then even the AoE, the rest of the team didn't take too much damage there. So maybe a little bit of foreshadowing, maybe a little bit of damage reduction going on. Oh no, is that a new buff going on there? Oh wow, I wonder what that could be. Oh, let's look at his stats real quick. Ooh, 16 plus 16k attack. That's kind of interesting, right? So we're gonna use the Infect on Zeldris. We're gonna use both of the melee cards here. We'll see, maybe see how it goes. So we obviously throw the Infect on. Nothing too crazy there, and then we go for the single target attack. Boom. Ooh, put Escanor straight into the final stand mode there, and then we use the AoE, which honestly looks a little lackluster, like right here, but. Yeah, that's basically turn one. So let's actually go over the character itself. Let's go over the skill translations from Kane. Shout out to him and everything. He's part of the 7DS Leaks Discord. So he was pretty much the first person to actually get the translations out there because he's watching in real time and everything. But let's go over it. So we have the passive. At the start of the battle, apply 3 Bridle of Purgatory to himself. Which are the 3 stacks that you see at the very beginning of the match. By every attack received from the enemy or the unit himself using a card, remove 1 Bridle of Purgatory. So basically, as you attack or you get attacked, you lose stacks. When every Bridle of Purgatory stack is removed, apply True Magic to himself. True Magic is gone after using a single card, and when it's gone, apply 3 Bridle of Purgatory stacks again. So it basically recycles. You basically have 3 stacks, you lose those stacks, you gain True Magic, then once you use your True Magic stack by attacking, you gain 3 Purgatory stacks again. Also, apply 1 ultimate move gauge deplete for 2 turns to the enemies that didn't attack or didn't use cards on their turn. So if you have a character that's just sitting in your, sitting on the team, like Ludo CL, for example, a lot of people don't use Ludo cards during a turn. If you don't attack with him or use any of his cards, he's going to get depleted, so you can't like ult rush or anything with him, I guess. So that's cool. He's just a built-in ultimate, sort of ult check, I guess. Some ultimate move gauge control. And when attacking enemies with stances or debuffs, deals an extra 40% additional damage. So all of that is pretty crazy. So let's go over the actual buffs themselves. So Bridle of Purgatory is every demon race ally receives minus 20% damage. So that's a 20% damage reduction per stack. So that's why at the very beginning, Escanor uses his single target card. The team has 60% damage reduction because there's 3 stacks on him at that point, which is pretty insane. Then he gains the True Magic stack, which removes every debuff applied to himself and gives a 50% attack related stat boost. So that's not only attack, that's a crit damage, crit chance, pierce rate. So that's a pretty big increase. And then so we have his skills. So skill 1 is a single target 200% modifier plus Frenzy. Frenzy is for every hit increases the damage by enemy, or increases damage by remaining HP percent of enemies. So 60% of their health left means 60% extra damage. Plus 2 Plus, it has a 2 times pierce rate bonus on it. So that is ridiculous. I don't know exactly if that was at turn 1 or not, or like on like a level 1 card, but I would imagine this would scale, because like if they're at full health doing a 100% extra damage, so that's double damage, seems pretty excessive. I don't know. He just seems absolutely busted. So I don't know what the meta's going to look like during this, but it's going to get crazy. Obviously, a lot of people are really hating that Escanor is kind of taking over the meta at the moment, but I think that he's really strong, so he's probably going to be a really good competitor to put his hat in the ring. Skill 2 is an AoE slash damage skill that is extra damage by half of the unit's pierce percent. So obviously with him getting the extra 50% attack stats, and on top of that he has a pretty good pierce rate, just in general, that's going to do a lot of damage. His ultimate is an AoE 750% modifier with magic explosion, plus applies damage suppression to himself for 2 turns, which this is where it gets really wacky. Of course, the ultimates are always pretty pay to win. So I'm not sure what the scaling on this is exactly at level 1 up to level 6 at the moment, but I'm sure it's bad. Magic Explosion ignores enemies' crit resistance by 60%, so you're going to have a really good chance to crit, and their crit defense is lowered by 120%, so the crit is going to hit insanely hard. So that is pretty much going to be guaranteed wipe, just like every other festival AoE ultimate is pretty much at 6/6. But this one, depending on the scaling on this might actually be like insane just at level 1. And then he gets damage suppression, which creates a damage cap of 40% on the unit, which is absolutely nuts. At least you have to get the ult off before he gets this damage cap, but he basically just gains that part of Lolly Merlin's passive, so that is really insane. So let's go over the banner really quickly. Obviously, we did a vote for this one. The big things to note here are that the festival character lineup is really good. The actual lineup is really good as well, so good luck on everybody's summons. Hope you get something cool that you're looking for here. He is rated up. He's the only character rated up at 0.25%. The other, the other festival characters are great because you have, the Dark and Light Liz, or you have the Dark Melee Light Liz, you have the Berserk Estarossa, who you're going to want for his team. You have the other 2 great characters here. Normal mileage and everything. The big thing here is that they're doing this power-up banner, which is basically the exact same banner, but the SSR character chance to get is 6% on this banner instead of what I'm assuming is going to be a 4% banner for this one, because the festival banners are normally 4%. So that's kind of weird. It's good, but at the same time, you have to purchase these tickets. The only way you can get these tickets is through a step-up bundle that they're doing, and it doesn't seem super expensive. The step-up bundle itself seems like it's a really low price, but I think you can only buy the tickets one time, and I think you get a maximum of 20 tickets, so you get 2 multis worth on that banner. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. The fact that there are only paid tickets is kind of unfortunate, but a couple of highlights here from the actual patch notes. We'll do a full patch note breakdown whenever they come out for global, of course, but the coin shop is getting updated for festival characters, of course, like they normally do, but Berserk Estarossa is going to be in here, so that's really great. I've had coins setting aside for him, so that's really nice. We are getting 2 new relics. We're getting Nanashi and Thonar relics, which we have translated right here. Nanashi's increases 30% base stats for unknown characters and increases 20% of defense-related stats for units with less than 2 cards. So he is now an unknown buffer for whatever reason, but the 20% defense-related stats could help survival with Escanor, maybe. Not exactly sure how well this is going to work, but not the greatest relic I've ever seen, but could be pretty decent. And then we have Thonars, which is really good. In Skull and Hati, increase 1 ultimate move gauge for every skill used. I'm not sure if that's just for her or for allies. The way it's worded seems like it's for her only, but if it's for allies too, that would be really, really crazy. But in addition to that, it increases allies' HP related stats by 10% up to 4 times every time she uses a skill. So that's really, really good for her survival. She's obviously a very squishy character. She's the one that normally dies on my runs every time that I play, so hopefully that will help her sort of stay in line. Plus it's HP-related stats, so you're going to get lifesteal and recovery rate and everything like that too. So hopefully that'll help, make things a lot smoother for Skull and Hati. They are redoing the constellation system a little bit. They're adding a whole new chaos constellation thing where you can basically re-roll constellation stats with these new materials, kind of like you would re-roll a stat on gear with an anvil. A lot of this is really weirdly translated, so I'm going to wait for Global to really get into any of that. They are adding a new time-limited dungeon for the little materials for it, but yeah, new bundles, of course. New bundles. Here's the step-up bundles for the power-up tickets, so that's interesting. And then they are doing a little bit of box CC buff sort of changes here and there, which is cool. There is a login event. This one is really big. This is a login event for 28 days. You get 30 at the beginning and then 10 for every other day. So this is a 300 diamond login bonus. So make sure that you're logging in during the event. Obviously, there's some new event stuff. New outfit for Melee, for all Melees actually, which is based off of that art that Nakaba made. So it looks like that one. So that's pretty cool. They are bringing back the Artifact Wish event, so if you're missing any cards or anything like that, you can try to get those specifically. And the big one here is that they're doing a cosmetic bundle, or a cosmetic sale, so all of UR outfits are going to be reduced by 10 diamonds. SSR outfits are now 15 diamonds. And SR cosmetics are now 7 diamonds. So big. We've been waiting for a cosmetic sale for quite a while at this point, so I'll try to make a video on characters that you should probably prioritize or focus on if you can. They're bringing back a lot of outfits, of course. Also, something to note is the only characters that aren't going to apply to this cosmetic sale are Infinity Merlin and the one Ultimate, because they're so new, I guess. That's not really unusual. They pretty much do that all the time. Anytime they've ever brought back the cosmetic sale, they tend to put a limit on like the brand new characters, of course. But other than that, it's basically just a whole bunch of new events, a lot of different ways to get diamonds, and then your normal sort of festival stuff. The only other one that's really interesting is this one, the Luck Trial Garapon, which is basically just like a little lottery system where you can try to win like a big prize, which the top prize is 1,000 diamonds, but obviously the odds on that are pretty crazy. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully this was helpful and informative, and you got to see the new character and everything like that. He's looking pretty crazy. I'm definitely looking forward to summoning for him. I'm a big Melee fan, and he seems like he's right up my alley as far as like, you know, Demon Team sort of big man. So I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys later this week for probably some prep and different videos there, and then we will get to summoning for him next week. So I will see you guys then.